Can you use school AI for differentiated aggressive monitoring?
It's it for teachers and students to explore, opening doors to knowledge and more.
All right, so here's a sample class that I created. Right now at the beginning of the year, we're covering 5.6a, and this is just a sample group, compare and contrast matter. So what you would normally do is just launch a space, and you would create a space, and then you would title it, just like I showed in a different video. But basically what you do with these fake names, I had some students come in and test out this prompt real fast. So we don't have any FERPA violations or anything like that. So here's our first student. You can take a look at it. You can see they started out, it gave them a prompt, and basically it asked them at the bottom level of blooms. I have it set up where we have starting from the bottom, going from the remembering, understanding, going up to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Not all of the students got to the higher level yet. I have the prompt set up where basically it'll walk them through and make sure they understand each level as they're getting feedback. So with this one, you can kind of see here's their remember. Some physical properties of matter I can name are color, density, mass, volume, melting point, boiling point, hardness, solubility, electrical conductivity, and odor. So they listed that out. The student didn't get to the second part yet, but it would have prompted them on the understanding prompt next. If they don't understand it, then it will take them back and ask them a few more questions on the remember prompt. So this is to help get your kids pushed to a higher level. It gives them instant feedback. This is, in every sense of the word, aggressive monitoring. They are getting feedback, one-on-one differentiated feedback. Let's look at this kid. All right, so this kid says physical properties of matter, density, conductors, and insulators. Those are the different types. And then it had, basically it analyzed what he was saying and then dove a little bit deeper into it. Things that come to mind are magnetism, things that are magnetic, iron filings. This is also great to get them to use complete sentences. I noticed a lot of my students won't use complete sentences. I know the lower grade levels taught complete sentences, but for some reason they don't like to use it. So we're getting them back on track, trying to teach them to use complete sentences. And you can put that in your prompt as well. I'll show you the prompt at the end. So look at this. It's moved them on to the next level. They're ready. They're ready to go on to understanding. Here's another one, John Lee. Again, fake names. This person started off, didn't remember what matter was. So again, getting those foundational skills, maybe they've forgotten it from a previous year. Maybe they forgot from earlier on in your discussion. You teach it a few times and they might forget stuff. So this will clarify what is matter. It'll give a different answer than what you might do as a teacher, but at least it gives them something and you can clarify further by reading these prompts and reading the answer choices in here. So some examples of matter are oil. There they go. It's given them different types. Once it's clarified that, and then we go on to a different level. Hopefully they understand that, and then they go on to the next level of understanding and the next level. So it's pretty cool. Let's go on to Ronaldo Cupcake. All right, so here we go. They're starting with the remembering level, and then is matter the weight of something? So this student, obviously, you look at it and you go, hey, this might be a kid that you're going to want to pull. You're going to want to clarify everything before you can even move them up to the next level. And just to let you know, I let some of my students just kind of put whatever in there so that you can have a variety of different answers, just like you might have in your classroom. Here you go. This student right here, who is a science smart boy. Let's see how they do. What is matter? Now, they've gone on and talked about different physical properties. And look, it clarifies some things right here. You've provided examples of colors and textures, but let's clarify that. And then it sees if they're ready, they're on track. Are they ready to go to the next level? Talks about mass, volume, and density, and it'll even go to a higher level. It'll show them density is greater than 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So you can also tailor it to make sure that it's hitting just 5th grade students specifically. Depends on how you want to run your classroom. And then this is the last one, Timo. Last student here, mass is how much it weighs. So you can see right there, they might have an issue with mass versus weight. So again, you can clarify this. This is something you typically, it's harder to see when you're just doing a walk around aggressive monitoring, but you can see it right here. You can pull them aside and talk to them about mass versus weight, show them balances and scales, spring scales, and clarify that, because you can see that they might not have that basic understanding in place. Can you simplify this sentence? They might actually need clarification if the computer has written something a little more complicated. So I think this is a fantastic tool personally. Let me show you two more things. So here's A to Z that you can actually use, and it will sort them by groups. You can see how many kids have a full grasp of this concept. Looks like the AI did not give anyone an A, so that means, oh, we probably need to do more lessons on this, on 5.6A. B, you can see the kids that might have a decent grasp of the concept according to the AI. Of course, you're going to want to pull them all anyway to get clarification. And then you can see it sorted these kids into C-level students. So these might be the ones that you provide extra help to. It's a great tool for that. Over here on the side, I've been using this to pull students specifically. Look at the feedback that it's giving you as a teacher. John Lee, student asks, what's matter? I forgot, indicating they need a refresher on the basic concepts. So like we said earlier, student doesn't have the basic concepts. You can go up this list on the side, which is fantastic, and you can actually see what they know and what they don't know if you don't want to click on every single conversation. If you just read these, you'll see it's pretty fascinating to see, showing a basic understanding. The AI does a good job letting you know what they do know, what you don't know. You can pull them a little bit faster. You can clarify things a lot faster. This is way, way, way more effective, I've found, than just walking around with a clipboard, honestly. Just pulling them aside. You can do one-on-one, groups of 2 or 3 or 4, or however you want to run your classroom. All right, I'm going to go back out here and show you one more thing. The prompt, edit space prompt. Let's move my head out of the way. All right, so here's my prompt over here. This is specifically what I wrote. We're going to question students based on Bloom's taxonomy, starting from the bottom, working up, related to Texas Science Teaks 5.6A on physical properties of matter. I was very specific with what we were doing, how we were doing it. When you write your prompts, try to be specific. Only ask one question per level, remembering, understanding, applying. I don't want it to ask a billion questions. Sometimes it will ask multiple questions, but hoping that it will narrow it down, kind of just shrink it down, one question, and then clarify. And then I said, ask the student, as the student answers each question, clarify any misconceptions on that level. Only move up to the next level of Bloom's if they show mastery of the lower level. So that'll basically help to narrow in on those kids that need that extra help at the low level. And then the ones that know what they're doing, they'll move ahead and they'll progress much, much quicker. So you're not just holding everyone to the same level, you're differentiating. So it's a great tool for that. All right, I hope this video was helpful. You can use School AI to differentiate with Bloom's. I think it's a great tool, and I hope you all test it out too. All right, have a great one.